Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Together we will recite. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopa kumaraya govindaya namo namaha. Hare Krishna. So, I would like to welcome all of you to our Sunday Feast program. Today we are going to discuss about the glories of Lord Balaram. Right? You see, the next big Vaishnava festival upcoming before Janmashtami is Balaram Purnima. Right? So, from now only we can meditate upon the glories and mercy of Lord Balaram and aspire to receive a drop of his mercy. So we will recite this one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 19th chapter, 10th canto, 10:19:9. 9th verse from 19th chapter of 10th canto, and recite behind me. Krishna Krishna Mahavira, Krishna Krishna Mahavira, He Rama Moga Vikrama, He Rama Moga Vikrama, Davagnina Dhayyamanam, Prapannam Stratum Arhata. Krishna Krishna Mahavira, Krishna Krishna Mahavira, He Rama Moga Vikrama, Davagnina Dahyamanam Prapannam Stratum Arhata. You can recite, some of you want to recite? Krishna Krishna Mahavira, He Rama Moga Vikrama, Davagnina Dahyamanan Prapannam Tratum Arhata. Krishna Krishna Mahavira, He Rama Moga Vikrama, Davagnina Dahyamanam Prapannam Stratum Arhata. Krishna Krishna Mahavira, He Rama Moga Vikrama, Davagnina Dahyamanan Prapannam Stratum Arhata. I'll just tell you the translation of the verse, and then some of you can recite again. So the cowherd boyfriends are calling upon Krishna and Balaram. They are saying, Krishna Krishna Mahavira, O great hero, or person with a great prowess, Krishna, and He Rama Amog Vikrama. They are calling, Ram is here refers to Lord Balaram, whose Krishna is Mahavira, he is greatly powerful, and Lord Ram's Vikram, his prowess in the battle or fight is Amog. Amog means that infallible, right? That whatever Lord Balaram wishes to do, that cannot be baffled. Whatever he decides, that will happen. Amoga Vikrama. So, He Rama Amoga Vikrama. So they are saying, Dava Agni Na Dahyamanan. There was a forest fire. So at that point of time, the cowherd was called upon Krishna and Balaram that this Dava Agni, this forest fire, is actually burning us, Dahyamanan. Right? Dahan, from the word Dahan comes Dahyamanan. This forest fire is burning us. Prapannam stratum arhata. We are surrendering unto you. Prapannam stratum arhata. Please save us. Right? Please save us. tratum arhata. We deserve to be saved by both of you, right? For we are taking shelter of you. Prapannams. So some more devotees can recite. Krishna Krishna Mahavira, He Rama Moga Vikrama, Davagnina Dahyamanan, Prapannam Tratum Arhata. Mataji's. Krishna Krishna Mahavira, He Rama Moga Vikrama, Davagnina Dahyamanam, Prapannam Tratum Arhata. So, we will discuss about this verse in due course of time. So we will briefly discuss the tattva of Lord Balaram, and then we will discuss about his prowess, about his glories, his mood of service, etc. So Chaitanya Charitamrita describes Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Tahara Dvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. Lord Krishna is Sarva Avatari. He is a fountain head. He is the source of all the avatars that come to this world. Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Tahara Dvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. His very second body is Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram, they are practically, they are one and the same. Prabhupada would say that Krishna is like a blackish in complexion, like a monsoon rain cloud, and Balaram ji is like a spring rain cloud. Only in complexion they are differing, but they are one and the same. Right? So the very first expansion of Lord Krishna is Balaram. So Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, then he has his various expansions. Lord Balaram constitutes his first bodily expansion, right, which is Krishna's own Sarup. Then Krishna also has various energies, right? Just like we see in the verse Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam. Bhakta, Krishna has various incarnations, various manifestations, various energies. Right? The living entities, jivas, also constitute his energy. So in this way, Lord Krishna, he is a Swayam Bhagavan, he is complete in every respect. And Balaramji is his first bodily expansion. So Balaram word, if you see, it is made with there are two, it's a compound word, Bala and Ram. Right? So the Bala refers here to Balasya Anantavirasya. Lord Balaram, whose Bal or whose power is Anant. He has unlimited power. That is Bala. And Ram refers to Ramam Loka Abhiramam. One who gives great pleasure to everyone. Right? So Lord Balaram, his prowess, his virya is unlimited, and he is the source of great transcendental pleasure. Right? So that is the meaning of Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram, he always descends along with Krishna to assist in his pastimes, right? To serve him in various ways. So we see that Lord Balaram, he appeared as the seventh son of Devaki. Okay? But then by the order of Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram was transferred from womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. So you see, Balaram ji is mostly known as Rohini Sutta or Rohini Nandan. Right? But actually, he appeared as the seventh son of Devaki, but then was transferred. So Devaki felt as if there is a miscarriage. So why did he first came to the womb of Devaki and then was transferred to the womb of Rohini? He came there and it's described that he left his expansion Shesh Nag within the womb of Devaki, right? So the Shesh Nag, as we know, is like who serves Krishna by becoming his bed. Right? So Krishna is going to come in the womb. So Balaramji first appeared and performed this service. He arranged the bed, everything nicely. Krishna will appear. So like that. So even before Krishna's appearance, Lord Balaram he started serving Krishna, right? And this theme will continue, as we shall see. Lord Balaram he appears mainly to assist and serve Krishna. So when they grew up a little, the children naturally they like to play, right? And in play, usually the children they form two parties, two teams, right? And then there is a competition. Right? Unless there is a team, there is a competition, spirit to win, then the play is not enjoyable, right? We see. So naturally, Krishna would become the leader of one of the team for play, and Balaramji would become leader of another team, the competing team. Right? And in this way, they would play with each other, right? And sometime it would happen that the party which is defeated, they would go and lodge some complaint to the mother, So one day the cowherd boys they came to Mother Yashoda and said, Krishna has eaten dirt, right? So the Mother Yashoda she became very concerned, right? Till now Krishna was only stealing butter and eating, right? She knew that Krishna is restless, but still butter was a healthy item, so it was tolerable. This dirt was not good for health at all. So Mother Yashoda became very concerned that his restlessness is increasing only, right? He started eating dirt now, or starting eating mud. So then she caught hold of Krishna and wanted to rebuke. So Krishna said, look, they only want me to be chastised by you, right? Therefore they are complaining, right? As is obvious in the competing spirit. Mother Yashoda said, your elder brother has also complained that you have eaten mud. Of course, he's also part of the opposite team party, right? So he would also, complain in this way. So in this way, we will see there would be many sports, and Balaramji would be the leader of the competing party in sports, and he would enhance this the rasa, the flavor of play, the childhood pastimes of Krishna. So he described that once the children they were playing a game in which the party who would lose, they will carry the winning party on their shoulders, right? So that was a bet, right? So so in this, on a particular day, Krishna and party lost, and then they would have to carry Balaram and party on their shoulders. So it's mentioned, Vaha Krishno Bhagavan Shridamanam Parajita Vishabham Bhadrasenastu Pralambo Rohini Sutam. Right? So I am now describing the killing of Pralambasur. So Krishna was carrying Sridama, Bhadrasen was carrying Vrishabha, and Pralamba, he carried Balaram, the son of Rohini. So he said that this demon Pralamba, he wanted to kill Krishna, but he thought that Krishna is very powerful, right? He is very invincible. So therefore he thought, first let me kill Balaramji. Like Balaramji is like always like the right hand person of Krishna, right? So if I can kill Balaramji, then his strength will reduce, Krishna's strength. Then it will become easy to kill Krishna. So first he targeted Balaramji. So this demon Pralamba, he carried Balaramji far away into the forest, right? Away from the vision of Krishna. And then Balaramji started becoming heavy. This guy, Balaramji started becoming as heavy as Mount Sumeru. And Pralamba then he slowed down and he kept Balaramji down, and then he assumed his original form of a great demon. And when Lord Balaram he saw this demon's form, which was having blazing eyes, fiery hair, terrible teeth, right, scowling brows, so very fearful form, Balaramji became a little frightened on seeing this, right? So the question can come, how can Balaramji be frightened, right? Balasya Anantavirasya, Lord Balaram is having unlimited strength. How could he become little frightened? So Srila Sanatana Goswami has explained that two reasons. First is Balaramji became little frightened on seeing Pralambasura to maintain the mood of a cowherd boy. You know, any cowherd boy, if you see a great demon, naturally a boy in that mood will be little scared. So Balaramji became a little scared initially, right, to maintain his mood of the pastime as a cowherd boy. Secondly, Balaramji thought, here is a cowherd boy who has suddenly become a demon. That means that this is a demon disguised as a cowherd boy. There could be another demon disguised as a cowherd boy who may be attacking Krishna, right? Because Krishna was away from the side. So, in this way, thinking of the safety of Krishna, thinking of service of Krishna, Balaramji actually became little frightened. But in the very next verse, while describing, Shukdev Goswami says, Balaramji, who is completely fearless in all circumstances, he struck this demon's head with his fist, and the demon died on the spot over there. So in this way, Balaramji killed this demon Pralambasur. So it's described by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a book, Demons in Krishna Leela, where he describes that these demons represent a particular anartha. So Pralambasur represents desire for personal gain and prestige. Desire for personal gain and prestige. So this demon specially has to be killed by Lord Balaram or his representative, the spiritual master. A desire for personal gain and prestige. So Chowpatty Prabhu shares one incident wherein at the time of his initiation, he came to take the beads and Prabhupada asked him the question. Prabhupada said, so how many rounds will you chant? Chowpatty Prabhu said, I will chant 20 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? 16 is the minimum. So he said, I would like to do a little more, in order to impress Prabhupada or please him, right? And Prabhupada, when he saw, he was totally unimpressed at all, right? He understood that he is proclaiming that he will chant more. Simply there is a desire for personal gain and prestige, right? So many devotees, they have shared, when there would be such a desire so it happens that we do service in Krishna consciousness, but while doing service, from that service we seek our own gain and prestige. And this is actually very common anartha, right? Very, very common anartha in the life of practicing devotees. Service is actually meant for Krishna's pleasure, right? Suppose some person may be singing, then singing of Lord's name is meant for Krishna's pleasure. But then there is a desire comes that, look, I would sing in such a way that everyone should be very much impressed, right? They should say, oh, what a tune, never heard such a melody, very few could follow or whatever. Right? But the desire for personal gain and prestige appears in due course of time of service. Right? So the spiritual master, Lord Balaram, is very expert at detecting this mentality and killing him. There is another example. Once one of our senior brahmacharis, he took up a newly joined brahmachari to his Holy Radhana Swami Maharaj many years back, and he wanted him to be encouraged from Maharaj, and he said, he told His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj that this brahmachari has joined, and daily he cleans toilets in the ashram. Right? So His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj looked at that new brahmachari, and he said, one can be proud even of cleaning toilets. Right? So it's a fact, so one may do any particular, even a very humble menial service one can do, but still one may actually become proud or desire that I should be appreciated and glorified for this service. Right? So this desire for personal gain and prestige is a very commonly found anartha, right? Which is a stumbling block. Right? And the spiritual master Lord Balaram is very expert at detecting that there is a desire for personal gain and prestige, and pointing it out and destroying it. Right? There are unlimited pastimes of Prabhupada, and many other great souls who could perceive Pralambasur and point it out and kill Pralambasur. The desire for personal gain and prestige. So another time, all the cowherd boys, they were playing in the forest, and they became so busy in playing that the cows they were herding, they went far away deep into the forest, and the boys they lost track of the cows, and the cows then landed themselves in a difficulty. Right? They got trapped in very long grown grasses, and they were crying out. And then boys, when they realized, then Krishna also loudly called out for the cow. Then they could find, the cowherd boys could find the cows. So they all went, and where the cows were there. And suddenly, when this cowherd boys found the cows, suddenly there arose a great forest fire coming from all the four sides. Right? So at that point of time, the cowherd boys, they all cried out for Krishna and Balaram's help. Right? They recited this particular verse. Again we can recite, Krishna Krishna Mahavira, He Rama Moga Vikrama, Davagnina Dahyamanan, Prapannam Stratum Arhata. So they called on to Krishna and Balaram that, O Krishna, O great hero, O Lord Balaram, who has infallible prowess, this forest fire is devouring us. Please save us, for we take shelter of you. Right? So there was another time that there was a forest fire. Right? There are two pastimes in 10th canto forest fire. After killing Kaliya, or after driving away the Kaliya, after punishing him, that particular evening night, all the Brajvasis, they rested near the Kaliya Dah only, near the bank of Yamuna. And at night there came a great forest fire. Right? So it said that some of the associate of Kamsa would actually light up this fire. At the time again, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they cried out for Krishna. Very similar verse is there. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga, He Rama Amita Vikrama, Ish Gauratamo Vahanis Tavakan Grasate Hina. And Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga, O Krishna, the Lord of all opulences, He Rama Amita Vikrama. Right? Amit word is very common in India. Amit. Right? People are named Amit. Amit means that one cannot be, mit means one that can be extinguished, right? That can be put down. But Amit means that no one can destroy something. So Lord Balaram's prowess, He Rama, Amogh is infallible, Amit is indestructible, Amita Vikrama. So no one can counter or destroy Lord Balaram's prowess. So, Esha Ghoratamo Vahanish, this forest fire is devouring us. Please save us, Tavakan, we are yours. the inhabitant of Vrindavan says, please save your surrendered souls. Tavakan grasate hina. So this is also important point here. Actually, we in this material world, we all are in a situation where we are being burned by the forest fire, right? The fire of the material world. So the three kind of miseries are compared to this fire, right? The tapatraya, the adhyatmic, adi-baudic and adi-devik miseries. Right? This is like a fire on the three sides. Right? So one may say, I will escape from the fourth side. There is the fourth fire on the fourth side. As we discussed, there is a fire on all the four sides. So Prahlad Maharaj described that there is a fire known as Shok Agni in this material world. Yasmat priya apriya viyoga samyoga janma Shok Agnina sakala yonishu dahyamana. Shok Agnina. In this material world, Prahlad Maharaj says very beautifully, he says, in this material world, every person meets certain circumstances which are apriya, but he meets them, right? A person may become sick, as we described, various whatever, he may want a particular job, doesn't get that, particular course he wants to do, doesn't get admission in that, but gets something else, right? We all have experienced that whatever we desire, we don't get that, but we get something opposite. So that which is, and that something which is dear to us, we want to hold on to, that is separated, and something which we don't want, that we are forced to meet, right? So in this world, these two things causes shok agnina, lamentation, right? It's said that in the spiritual world, the sthai bhav means that the permanent feeling of the heart, right? The sthai bhav in the spiritual world is love for Krishna, and the sthai bhav in this material world is lamentation, shok. Right? You ask anyone, everyone will have many lamentations in life, right? That I could not do this, but this was very dear to me, that has been taken away. So meeting something which is not desirable and being separated from something which is desirable, right? So this shok, this lamentation is like the sthai bhav of the material world, right? Everyone has many lamentations. So this shok agni. So there are tapatraya, and this fourth is the shok agni. So this fire from all the four sides always burns, right? Everyone can actually feel the heat of it. Everyone has a practical experience that how we are being tormented by the threefold miseries and the lamentation that arise within our heart, right? So the only solution to be saved is actually to surrender to Lord Krishna and Balaram and to loudly call out for them, right? Krishna Krishna Mahavira, He Rama Moga Vikrama, Davagnina Dahyamanan, Prapannam Tratumarhata. Right? So Krishna and Balaram, they can save us actually. Right? There is no other way. Prahlad Maharaj says, someone says, without taking shelter of the Lord, depending on my own prowess, my own intelligence, I have many good contacts, I know very influential people, I will call fire brigade and put the fire off, whatever, Said, Prahlad Maharaj says, Dukkha the very next, the same verse, Dukkha tadapi dukkham. All the measures that we will take to relieve ourselves from this forest fire will only increase this forest fire, right? And the burning will increase, Prahlad Maharaj says. So therefore, actually, devotees should take shelter of Krishna and Balaram, right? As the cowherd boys, they showed us, right? So similarly, we see how the spiritual master is a representative of Lord Balaram, right? As we sing, Samsara dava nalalidha loka tranaya karunya gana ganatnam praptasya kalyana gunanavasya vande guru shri charanarvindam. Right? So the spiritual master, he carries the mercy of Krishna and Balaram. Right? So he's like that cloud. The forest fire is so huge that actually those who live near the forest fire, they know that when the forest is on fire, then no fire extinguishers or even fire brigade works. Right? It's so huge. Only somehow if the rains come, then the forest fire can be put off. Right? So therefore in this material world, the spiritual master, he is that merciful cloud, right? Who showers the rain of his mercy, the water of his mercy, and then we can be relieved from this burning forest fire, which everyone can experience. So this is another pastime, and then there is another beautiful pastime of Lord Balaram ji, Krishna and Balaram, they killing the ass demon. Right? So once the cowherd boys, they requested, Rama Rama Mahabaho Krishna Dushna Nivarhana Ito Vidure Sumahad Vanam Talali Sankulam. Right? Again, Ram Ram Mahabaho, O Ram, mighty armed one. Krishna Dushna Nivarhana, O Krishna, destroyer of the miscreant. Iti Avidure Sumahad Vanam Talali Sankulam. Not far from here, there is a great forest filled with the rows of tal trees. Right? They requested. And they said that in this Talvan forest there are many fruits, right, which are all very ripe. Even here we can feel the fragrance, the cowherd boy said. Right? But these fruits or this forest is being guarded by the evil Dhenuka. Right? So therefore they requested Krishna and Balaram to do this. Prabhupada says, Krishna's young boyfriends, they protested this unjust usurpation of the right to enjoy the fruits of public forest. Right? So there is a forest, and those who live in the forest, the animals, the birds, even the human beings, those who reside nearby, they all can enjoy the fruits of the forest. It's a public forest, right? So we know some people they sometimes do some property encroachment, right? Bombay is very common. Property is very valuable. So people, when they find the chance, they can encroach some property, right? So this demon has encroached the whole forest, right? Not just few square feet here and there. Right? He encroached upon the whole public forest. He declared the forest to be his property, and he described that no animal could go to graze to the forest, right? How to speak of any human being growing? Even the birds would be frightened to go to this forest, right? So that much, he's practically usurped the whole property. So the boys, Prabhupada say, they are protesting, how can this demon be just encroaching the full forest and no living entity, no one can go and enjoy such sweet fragrant fruits. Right? So therefore they called Ram Ram Mahabahu. O Ram, O Balaram, O Ram, now we are going to see the strength of your arms, They are doing all this encroachment and we are having Mahabahu but not showing the strength of your arms. Right? And Krishna Dushta Nivarhana. O Krishna, we will see how you are going to punish this wicked demon. Dushta Nivarhana. Right? So they are kind of a little bit, trying to arouse the valor of Krishna and Balaram. Right? So they informed him that it is a very powerful demon, has taken the form of an ass. And he has many other companions who all are in the form of ass, and they have usurped this whole property, public forest. Right? So when Krishna and Balaram heard this protest by their friends, they both started laughing. It's described. Krishna and Balaram laughed. Right? So it's described. Why did they laugh? They laughed because they thought, how could the donkey be so strong? Right? How has the donkey become so strong? How has this Gada become so such a big pahalwan? Right? In India there is a saying, Khuda meherban to Gada pahalwan. So in this case, Kamsa meherban to Gada Pahalwan. So Dhenuka became a great Pahalwan, he served the whole forest because he was being shown mercy by Kamsa, right? He was also part of the Kamsa and team. So Krishna and Balaram laughed, we are going to meet today this donkey who is very strong, right? So in this way, it said that they both went to the forest, and Lord Balaram, with his mighty arm, he started shaking the trees, right? And the fruits they started falling off the tree and falling on the ground. And when the demon, the Dhenuka, he heard the sound, he immediately, in a great anger, came rushing at Lord Balaram, and he kicked Lord Balaram with his two hind legs, right? The donkeys, they use their hind legs to kick. So, but Balaram ji was unshaken. Again, this demon, in great anger, he was braying very loudly. Again, he came to attack Lord Balaram. This time, Lord Balaram, he caught him by the hooves and started whirling him around, right? Balaram is Mahabahu, and he whirled him so strongly, right? So fiercely that he could not. The centrifugal force, it killed him. The centrifugal force, he could not sustain his life here within the body, and the force of the whirling only killed the demon. And then Lord Balaram, he threw the demon on the top of a tree, and one tree fell down, and most of the trees on the forest actually they fell down, right? So it is in this way Lord Balaram, he killed this demon Dhenukasur. So it described that this demon Dhenukasur represents gross material intelligence, right? Gross material intelligence. So Prabhupada once was talking to devotees, and he was saying, rascals want to join if you flatter them, right? So Prabhupada would say that we are speaking the truth, Prabhupada would say, but people want to hear something which will appeal their material intelligence, right? So Prabhupada said, rascal want to join if you flatter them, but our process is to surrender, become a blank slate, and give up puffed up ideas of knowledge. And then Prabhupada said, there is one music school in Germany where a student who knows music is charged more because there is so much to unlearn first. Like here, Prabhupada says, I have to spend hours removing these polluted ideas. The slate must be clean from the polluted ideas. Right? So in this way, right, we all have so many ideas of our own, right? The materialistic intelligence. There is one very common idea people have, this how the materialistic intelligence works is pointed out by one of the tantric sannyasi when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met him. There was this tantric sannyasi, and the Lord was going toward the house of Advaitacharya. The Lord met him briefly, and this tantric sannyasi, he offered him the benediction to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, may you have a lot of wealth, may you enjoy beautiful women, may you have a lot of opulence in life, and may you have a lot of material learning. Lord said, Vishnu, what are you saying? This is not a benediction. Please give me benediction that I may always, I may achieve the mercy of Krishna. Right? The Lord told this sannyasi. And this sannyasi became very upset. He said, I had heard that when you want to do good to somebody, the people, they go against you only. Today I am experiencing that. He said, what's wrong with my benediction? If anyone is born in this, one takes a human form of life, right, and doesn't have lot of wealth, doesn't enjoy women, and doesn't do all of these things, then why did he took birth? His life is a waste, this tantric sannyasi said. Right? Just like we devotees sometimes, if one has taken human form of life, not worshipped Radha and Krishna, then his life is a waste. So he said, what is the use of a human form of life if these things are not attained? And then he said, he put forth another argument. He said, look, you are saying Vishnu Bhakti, fine, Vishnu Bhakti. But you may have Vishnu Bhakti, but what will you eat if you don't have wealth? Tell me. Vishnu Bhakti is there, fine. What will you eat if you don't have any wealth? Right? So sometime, we preach that we should have, Krishna consciousness should be the priority of life. Life's only goal is actually to hear and chant about Krishna, to render him service. Right? But a person say, all looks well, but please come to ground reality. Right? Please come to the ground reality. So this, there is a ground reality argument. आपको चावल दाल का भाव मालूम है? From probably you may not be knowing the ground reality where all the rates of the eatables going. So Krishna consciousness is there, but what will you eat actually if you don't have wealth, right? So this tantric sannyasi put forth that argument, and the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he explained to him that actually one should only aspire pure devotional service to Krishna, but Krishna, by his mercy, he arranged for everyone's maintenance. Right? He arranges for everyone's maintenance. He is arranging maintenance for all the species of life. There are 84 lakh species of life. Right? So only human beings are very much worried about their maintenance. All other species are being maintained by Krishna. Right? And the Lord explained that actually, if that is the goal of life, wealth, women and wine, right? WWWS. Right? Everyone actually, searching for that, making that the goal of life. Then why are these things taken away? Why are these things taken away from a person if that is the goal of the life? Right? And then why a person meets unpleasant circumstances? Why a person meets, become diseased and dies? Right? That he doesn't want. So in this way, Lord Mahaprabhu explains to him, look, this is your materialistic intelligence. So in this world, often we impose our own materialistic intelligence, and we say, if I don't do this, how will I survive? Or how can I can live in society? How can I do this? I can't make devotional service my first priority. There are many priorities. Without that, I cannot, function normally or whatever. Without that, it's impossible to live in this material world. So in this way, we have many materialistic conceptions, right? So Prabhupada is saying, therefore, I have to spend hours removing these polluted ideas. The slate must be clean, Prabhupada would say, right? So the spiritual master is represented by Lord Balaram, the one who actually destroys all these materialistic ideas, right? As even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also replied to that tantric sannyasi who said, if you don't go out and earn a lot of wealth, then how will you survive, right? But that's not the fact actually. That's not the fact, right? So it's our own imagined materialistic ideas which hamper our progress in Krishna consciousness. Right? We have many conceptions. We are not able to destroy those conceptions, overcome those conceptions, and fully surrender to Krishna and Balaram, or feelingly cry out for their mercy. Right? All this, they prevent us. Right? So these anarthas prevent us from tasting the ultimate fruit of love for Krishna. Right? Dhenuka was guarding all these fruits. So, but if we hear from Prabhupada, if we regularly read his books, right, we will come to know that how, Prabhupada through his words, through his teachings, he will destroy all these polluted materialistic ideas, right, which we are thinking they are so important to us. Without that, we cannot do things properly in this material world. Right? So Lord Balaram actually killed this Dhenukasura, right? And similarly, spiritual master, he destroys all these polluted materialistic ideas. So there is another pastime. So I narrated 3 pastimes from Krishna's Vrindavan Leela and some lessons from it. I'll narrate some pastimes of Lord from Dwarka Leela of the 10th canto. So there is a pastime of Lord Balaram killing Rukmi. Right? Rukmi was the brother of Rukmini ji. So it's described that it's quite striking, or it's quite astonishing that how, although Rukmi was a kind of a lifelong enemy of Krishna and Balaram, Rukmi gave his daughter to Krishna's son for marriage. Right? Pradyumna married the daughter of Rukmi. And Krishna's grandson married Rukmi's granddaughter also. Right? Aniruddha married Rochana. So, although they were lifelong enemies, they were quite, even the Krishna's son married Rukmi's daughter, Krishna's grandson marries Rukmi's granddaughter. Right? So, I said, why Rukmi, although they are lifelong enemies, how could this marriage be possible? It said that somehow out of affection, Rukmi gave his daughter, out of affection for Rukmini ji. Right? He gave his daughter and granddaughter both to Krishna's son and grandson. Right? So he said that there was this occasion of Aniruddha's marriage with Rochana. And Krishna, Lord Balaram, Rukmini, Krishna's many sons, Pradyumna, Sambha, right? They all went to attend this marriage to Bhojakatak. Right? Bhojakatak was a city established by Rukmi. Later, when he decided that he would not come back, if he could not defeat Krishna, he said he would not return back to the city where he was ruling earlier. Right? It was Kundinapur. So then he had established his own city, Bhojakatak. So everyone, the Krishna's whole family, they all went on. It was a joyous occasion to the marriage of Aniruddha and Rochana. And many envious kings, they also had assembled on this marriage occasion. Right? Those who were all, from the very beginning, from Krishna's marrying Rukmini, there were so many enemies of Krishna. So these enemies, they had this one lifelong burning desire in their heart. They wanted to fulfill that desire once. They wanted to defeat Krishna once. We want to defeat Krishna once. So they thought it's practically impossible. Krishna is invincible. Right? So they thought, at least we can't defeat Krishna. Let's defeat Krishna in dice game once. Somehow Krishna should be defeated once. If we can't defeat in battle, then let him defeat in some game. At least once we should be victorious. Every time we are defeated. So this burning desire was there. So some people suggested, hey, Krishna is very expert at dice. We will not be able to defeat him in dice. So others said, let's defeat at least Balaram in dice, his brother, just like Prambhura, Krishna is, we can't kill him. Let's kill Balaram, at least right hand person. So then some king suggested, let's call Lord Balaram. He is not at all expert in dice, but he is very addicted to dice. Anyone calls him, immediately takes the offer of playing dice. So we will defeat Balaram ji, Hara Dutiya Dhe. If not Krishna, we'll have some solace to the heart, we defeated, at least 50% victory out of Krishna Balaram, we defeated Balaram. So some solace will come to our heart, So therefore these envious king, they provoked Rukmi to challenge Balaram ji for a dice match. Right? And then Balaram ji accepted and the dice match began. So there was a wager of 100 coins in the beginning, and then 1,000 coins, and then 10,000 coins, right? So this wager would increase 10 times each time. So Rukmi, he won this first series of, he won. And all these kings, they started, laughing. Especially there was a king of Kalinga. He laughed, with his full mouth open, showing all 32 teeth. And Lord Balaram, he felt insulted, right? Lord Balaram became very angry. But he just checked his anger, right? And Lord Balaram, then they had a wager of 1 lakh gold coins. And this time Lord Balaram won. But Rukmi, he started cheating. He said, no, I have won, right? And then Lord Balaram became again very angry. So this time, Lord Balaram, like as I said, wager would increase 10 times. So this time in the 1 lakh wager, Lord Balaram won, but Rukmi began cheating. Lord Balaram directly put a wager of 10 crore gold coin, right? From 1 lakh to 10 crore directly, right? So then Lord Balaram was very angry. Again Lord Balaram won. And Rukmi again started saying, no, I have won. all the kings here will testify who has won. Right? Suddenly there was a prophecy that no, Lord Balaram has won the wager. It's very clear. Right? He has fairly won this wager. But Rukmi still started saying no, he retorted cheating, and he said, no, I have won. Right? So in this, then finally Lord Balaram, he could not check his anger, and he took up his club and struck Rukmi dead on the spot. Right? So this is marriage is yet to begin. Right? So the grandfather has already been struck dead. Right? So a question may come, that why did this auspicious ceremony, auspicious function, and killing has begun. Why such an inauspicious act has taken place? Why could Lord Balaram not control his anger? Right? This question may arise. So Sukdev Goswami says, actually, in the midst of this auspicious wedding assembly, Lord Balaram killed Rukmi. Right? Telling that actually what he did only added auspiciousness to the whole function. Right? So again we have our own conception, but whatever act the Lord performs, it's actually all auspicious. So Lord act of killing Rukmi only drove away wickedness and arrogance. Right? So there was nothing inauspicious. There is nothing inauspicious in the activities of Krishna and Balaram. So the auspiciousness of the function actually was enhanced by Lord Balaram driving away this or killing this wicked Rukmi. Right? And after that Lord Balaram turned towards king of Kalinga, and he started running away. And Lord Balaram caught him on the 10th step, it's mentioned. And Lord Balaram, just with one blow of his hand, he removed all 32 teeth at a time. Right? So Lord Balaram, Balasya, Anantavirasya, he is having tremendous prowess, but Lord Balaram has tremendous precision also. Right? In one blow, he removed all 32 teeth. Right? Probably this is a world record, dental dental surgery performed, without anesthesia also. Right? So no one can match Lord Balaram's strength and precision also. Right? So when you say another skill of Lord Balaram over here. Right? So someone may, usually dentists have a protocol. Whenever they do tooth extraction, first they do the examination, X-ray, etc. Right? So if someone says Lord Balaram should have at least taken some, some examination before that, whatever. So that actually that happened when he laughed. Lord Balaram examined all the, took with his vision he took the X-ray of all 32. And then herein he actually performed this dental surgery or a transcendental surgery. Right? So in this way, Lord Balaram's activities are all auspicious actually, right? Which drives away all kind of wickedness. Then there is another beautiful pastime of Lord Balaram chastising the Kurus. Right? So, three pastimes are narrated from Lord Balaram Vrindavan Leela, and three pastimes I am narrating from Lord Balaram Dwarka Leela. So it's said that Samba, another son of Krishna, he was a very great Kshatriya, a very valorous fighter, and he showed his prowess by going to the Swamvar of daughter of Duryodhan, right, who was Lakshmana, and he kidnapped the Duryodhana's daughter Lakshmana in her Swamvar. Right? And he said all the Kuru fighters, they fought together against this Samba. Right? He was so valorous that even for all of them together, right, Bhishma, Drona and all of them together, they had to fight with one warrior, and with great difficulty they could capture Samba. Right? They all actually appreciated the fighting skills of Samba, but they captured him. So when they heard from Narad Muni, right? Narad Muni went and informed that this has taken place, and Govind Prabhu was talking of Narad Muni today morning, in his communication, right? So Narad Muni's communication, NMC, Narad Muni communications actually extends beyond this world, right? When Maharaj Parikshit just sat to fast on the bank of Ganges, he said the sages from not just this planet but from all the various other planets, they immediately started coming to the bank of Ganga. Right? One say, which WhatsApp message was sent, who sent the message? Said it was Narad Muni communications, right? It is much more faster and efficient than WhatsApp also. He communicated that Parikshit Maharaj sat up to fast, he is going to link the body and he is going to hear Bhagavatam. So all the sages from everywhere they gathered actually. Right? So Narad Muni facilitates Krishna's pastimes by bridging all the communication gaps. Right? And for the well-being of all, right? Narad Muni's communication is also very auspicious. So all these Yadvas, the Vrishni heroes, they heard that the Samba has been captured by these Kuru heroes, and they all began to, they took out their weapons and they put on their armor and they were ready to attack the Kurus. So Lord Balaram, he tried to console them. That is mentioned. Santvitya tutarama sannadhan vrishni pungavan nechat kurunam vrishni nam kalim kalimalapaha. Santitva, Lord said, please be pacified, don't be too eager for fight, I know that your arms are itching, Kshatriyas always often very eager, and they were all very young, young sons of Krishna. So they were very eager to fight, they had put on the armors and everything ready. Lord Balaram said, wait, don't be so impatient. Santavitva, please be consoled. Why Lord Balaram consoled them? It's mentioned, why did he do that? Na ichat kurunam vishninam kalim kali malapaha. He didn't want a fight. It is mentioned, he who purifies the age of Kali. Lord Balaram here is addressed as Kali Malapaha. He who purifies the age of coral didn't want a quarrel between Kurus and Vrishnis. Right? So the Lord has appeared to purify this age. This age is a age of quarrel and confusion. Right? It's very prominent in this age. Lord Balaram has come to purify this age, so therefore he didn't want, he didn't want a fight, he didn't want a kalim refers to quarrel. He is kalim alapaha, but he don't want a quarrel between his own men. Right? Just imagine, suppose there is a fire somewhere, right? Or there is an earthquake has come, and people are, they are under the debris, and there is a rescue team. And if the rescue team started fighting against each other, among themselves only, right? They start fighting where to start, rescuing people from, or whatever reason, If the rescue team or those who are fighting the fire, if they start fighting among themselves, what will happen to the victims? Right? So Lord Balaram said, I have descended for, Kali Malapaha, for purifying this age of quarrel, and there is a quarrel between our own relatives. How can I tolerate that? Right? So, na ichat kurunam vrishninam kalim kali malapaha. He didn't want this fight, right? Because Lord Ram is a purifier of this age of Kali. So he described Sankirtan yaggetare kare aradhan saita sumeda ar kalihat jan. Those who perform Sankirtan yagge tare kare aradhan, those who worship the Lord through Sankirtan, they are the intelligent people, and everyone else is a Kali Hat Jan. They are the victims of this Kali. Right? So those who chant the holy name of the Lord, they are like the rescuers. Right? It's their duty to rescue others who are the victims of Kali. Everyone else is a Kali Hat Jan. So if the devotees who chant the names of the Lord, who are supposed to rescue people, the victims of Kali, if they fight against each other, what will happen to the victims then? Just imagine. Right? If there is a fight between the doctor and the nurse, during the operation theatre, you can imagine what will happen to the patient, the person who is supposed to rescue, save, they fight against each other. Right? So Balaram ji is teaching very important lesson over here, that those who have a duty, right, we know that this Mahamantra, right, Iti Shodashtakam Nam Kali Kalmanashanam. The Lord has appeared in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right? So when we are, devotees are chanting the holy name, devotees are spreading this chanting of the holy name, we are acting on behalf of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as rescue, rescue workers. So if we fight against each other, what will happen to the victims of this age of Kali? Right? So therefore it's a very important point. Therefore Prabhupada really very emphatically Prabhupada would say that your love for me will be shown by how you cooperate. Right? So actually this principle of cooperation and not fighting, it stands above all other various principles. Right? Is the most important one. Because only if we are cooperating together and not fighting, can we actually help the other victims of this age. Right? Therefore, Lord Balaram is teaching this very important lesson. Na ichat kurunam vrishninam kalim kali malapaha. He didn't want a fight between his own relatives. He has come to purify this age of Kali. So therefore, Lord Balaram pacified them and he said, you wait, I will go and I'll bring Samba back. Right? You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to declare a fight. So then Lord Balaram went and the Kurus, they very happily came to receive him, and then the Lord Balaram pronounced the order that very unjustly they have captured Samba, and now King Ugrasen, he has declared this order, immediately bring Samba along with his newly married wife, right, Lakshmana, and bring her, and you should all apologize for that. Right? And the Kurus became very angry on hearing this command of Lord Balaram. He said Lord Balaram commanded because it was befitting his stature. Right? And but they became very angry and they insulted Lord Balaram. Right? They even said, it is only by our mercy that the Vrishnis and Yadavas are able to enjoy the royal insignia, etc. Right? So they insulted the Yadavas, they even insulted Lord Krishna. Right? And Lord Balaram was again enraged by hearing these insults of the Kauravas. And then he decided, he said, you scoundrels, you only understand the language of the stick. Right? Pashunam lagudo yatha. Right? If you plead with some animal, right, the animal will not listen. Right? You request or whatever, the animal you have to give him a stick only. So Lord Balaram said, the Yadavas were so eager to attack, they would have destroyed you all by this time. I somehow controlled, but you people are like animals. You don't understand any other language than the language of stick. Right? So Lord Balaram said, now I have to do that work of, which I asked them not to do. Right? And the Lord Balaram said, today I will Adya Nishkauravam Prithvim. Lord Balaram decided that today I will rid the earth from the whole race of Kauravas. Right? And in this, making that determination, Lord Balaram, his plough, another name of Lord Balaram is Halayuda, whose weapon is this plough, Hal. Lord Balaram's weapon, by his desire, grew in size, and with the tip of his plough, he separated the whole Hastinapur, right, from the planet Earth, right, and started dragging the whole city towards the Ganga. And by Lord Balaram's order, the Ganga became, also started swelling and ready to, just submerge the whole city, inundate this whole city of Hastinapur. Immediately all the Kauravas, right, they all came out and they prayed and begged Lord Balaram. Ram Ram Akhiladhara Prabhavam Na Vidamate Mudanam Na Kubuddhi Nam Shantum Arhasi Atikramam. So they said, oh Lord Ram, Ram Ram, Akhil Adhara, you are the foundation of everything, Akhil Adhar. Prabhavam na vidamate, we could not understand your prowess. Mudha nam na kubuddhi nam. Right? So they say that we are actually ignorant and misguided. Right? These are the two special qualifications of this age of the people of this world. Not that they are not just ignorant, right? One thing is the person is ignorant, then someone instruct him, one can understand something. People are ignorant and misguided, right? Misguided by their, as we said, Professor, the still slate is filled with so much nonsense, right? Not that they don't know the right thing, but they know too many wrong things, right? So that makes them too difficult to understand and take shelter of the Lord. Right? So Mudha Nam Naku Buddhi Nam Shantum Araseti Kramam. Please forgive us. Right? So in this way the Kauravas they begged forgiveness of Lord Balaram, right? Who had actually in his great anger had decided to actually rid the whole planet of the Kauravas. Right? And then you said, but why should Lord Balaram become so angry? In this world, people we often see, anger is one of the three paths leading to hell. Right? So the Kauravas in their prayer describe, Kopaste akhil shikshartham no deshan nacha matsarat. Said, my Lord, your anger is not born out of your frustration. Right? In this world, anger is born out of frustration. When one wants to fulfill a desire, one cannot, one becomes frustrated and become angry. But they says your anger is not born of either frustration or out of hatred towards anyone. Kopaste akhil shikshartham. Lord Balaram's anger is only for the sake of instructing everyone. Right? So therefore, Lord Balaram's anger, usually anger is in the mode of passion, but Lord Balaram's anger is in the mode of pure goodness. Right? Lord Balaram's anger is in the mode of pure goodness, because it is not born of the frustration or envy. It is only for the benefit of the person upon whom the anger is directed. Right? So in this way, they pray to the Lord Balaram that you became angry, and because you exhibited this anger, we have now become civilized. Whereas previously we were wicked and blinded by pride. Right? In this way, Lord Balaram, by showing this anger, he drove away the wickedness and the pride of the Kauravas. Right? And then they pray to Lord Balaram, they bring Lakshmana and Sambha, and then there was a joyous marriage occasion. Right? So that's another beautiful pastime of Lord Balaram. I'll narrate the third pastime little quickly, of third Dwarka pastime, where Lord Balaram, he goes to Vrindavan. Right? Balabhadra Kuru Shreshta Bhagavan Rathama Sthita Suhridya Dikshur Utkantha Prayo Nanda Gokulam. Right? So Lord Balaram, who is a Kuru Shreshta, he once mounts his chariot and starts for Vrindavan. Right? Because he understands that the residents of Vrindavan, he himself is eager to see them, and he understands that they are in great pain. Right? So Lord Balaram goes to console the residents of Vrindavan. Right? Sankarshanastha Krishnasya Sandeshayar Hridayam Game Santam Vyamasa Bhagavan Nana Anunaye Ko Vida. He said Sankarshanasya ta Krishnasya. He took many very heartfelt messages from Krishna, and he delivered those messages to the gopis, and he consoled the residents of Vrindavan. Right? Santavyam Asa Bhagavan. In this particular pastime, we will see that how Lord Ram, who brings great transcendental pleasure, right? Lord Balaram's prowess also is the source of great transcendental pleasure. But especially herein, Lord Balaram consoles the residents of Vrindavan and brings great pleasure, right, to their hearts. Nana Anunaye Ko Vida. So it is described that when Lord Balaram was speaking, giving the message to the residents of Vrindavan, he manifested the presence of Krishna in his words. Right? So when Lord Balaram was speaking, everyone who was hearing, they could feel the presence of Krishna. And due to feeling the presence of Krishna, their heart was, which was being tormented in the pain of separation, their hearts felt great relief. Because in the words of Balaram, there was a presence of Krishna. So this is a very beautiful principle. Again, Shrutakirti, one of Prabhupada's disciples, he describes that there's many, oftentimes the disciples of Prabhupada, they would go to Prabhupada with many complaints or difficulties. Right? They would go to the presence of Prabhupada and they would want to tell him so many things. We can't do like this, we can't do like this. That person is saying this to us. This is not working out. That is not happening. So many things. Right? And they would go to Prabhupada to express their difficulty, but in his presence only, they would forget all the difficulties. Right? And oftentimes, sometimes other Prabhupada also described, Prabhupada would often say, just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. This process is so simple. If you chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulatory principles, then at the end of this life, you will go back home, back to Godhead. What is the difficulty? Right? Prabhupada would often ask, those disciples who would be troubled by various difficulties created by the mind. Right? Prabhupada, what is the difficulty? Prabhupada would ask. Chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regulatory principles, and then you will go back home, back to Godhead. So that whenever Prabhupada asked this question, what is the difficulty? His disciples could not answer. Right? Because in his presence, all the difficulties, they evaporated. Right? So they would have many difficulties otherwise, but they would come to Prabhupada's presence and he would ask a question, what is the difficulty? Right? And they would not never be able to answer that. Right? Just imagine, if you go to some doctor and the doctor asks, what is the problem? And you say, I am healthy now. Right? The problem is gone, right? By asking a question. Right? Can you imagine if there is such a doctor, then he would have a long queue, by asking the question, he would remove. But Prabhupada was actually such a doctor, such a transcendental doctor. Just by asking, so it is described that these difficulties, they are just like darkness. Right? They are born of our ignorance. We create actually, the difficulty is in the perception of a difficulty. Right? If our perception change, if we understand that Krishna is coming as a difficulty to us to teach us some lesson or to enhance our surrender to Krishna, then that difficulty is not a difficulty. So the difficulty is in the perception of a difficulty. Right? So it is born out of it's created by the mind. So when they would come to the presence of Prabhupada, who is like a sun, right? As we say, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hai Andhikar. So Krishna and his pure devotees, who are always connected to Krishna, they are like the sun. In their presence, the darkness cannot remain. Right? Similarly, so many imagined difficulties, they would just evaporate in the presence of Prabhupada. Right? Because Prabhupada, in his presence, devotees could feel the presence of the Lord. Right? So that is actually the spiritual master. Right? He manifests the presence of Krishna. Right? And devotee can feel the presence when the pure devotees like Prabhupada and spiritual master, they describe about Krishna, they speak about Krishna, they sing his glories, then the devotees can feel the presence of Krishna. Right? And then by the presence of Krishna, all the difficulties, they naturally evaporate. Right? Similarly, when Balaramji came, he manifested the presence of Krishna, and the hearts of all the residents of Vrindavan, they find great peace and jubilation. Right? And then Lord Balaram also has another beautiful quality which is described, Santavyam as Bhagavan Nana Anunay Kovida. Nana Anunay Kovida means Lord Balaram is very expert at conciliation. Right? So the residents of Vrindavan, they were he tried to, like there is a kind of they are having, why Krishna has not come, right? They were having some feelings of that Krishna has become ungrateful or so, such feelings were there. Right? So Lord Balaram told, you all now be assured that I am going to bring Krishna. Right? He said, you don't think I am like Uddhava, who is like a subservient to him. I am not like Krishna's servant. I will go, I will catch him by the hand and I will bring him by force. Right? I am his elder brother. So in this way, Lord Balaram, he consoled them in various ways. Right? Nana anune ko vida. And he brought great happiness and jubilation to the hearts of residents of Vrindavan. Right? So in this way, it is described that Lord Balaram, in whatever activities Lord Balaram performs, right? Lord Balaram manifests in all these pastimes as well as in many expansions. He performs unlimited service to the Lord in unlimited number of ways. Right? And so Lord Balaram, whatever he does, right, whatever pastimes he performed, even it's sometimes it is seen that Lord Balaram even opposes Lord Krishna sometimes, right? But actually all the activities of Lord Balaram are only meant for the service of Krishna. So there is a beautiful verse which says, Jayo Jayo Shri Gaura Karu Jayo Jayo Shri Karuna Sindhu Gaura Chandra Jayo Jayo Shri Seva Vigraha Nityananda. All glories to the Lord who is the ocean of mercy, and all glories to Lord Balaram who is the personification of service to Krishna, the Seva Vigraha Nityananda. Right? So whatever pastimes, activity Lord Balaram perform are meant to serve Krishna, are meant for the pleasure of Krishna. As we discussed in the beginning, Lord Balaram, even when he differs from Krishna, right? We say sometimes he favors Duryodhana, right? He wanted Subhadra to be married to Duryodhana, and at number of places we see Lord Balaram, even Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him not to come every year to Rath Yatra, right? But Lord Nityananda would come every year anyway, right? So at a number of times we see Lord Balaram, he opposes Lord Krishna, right? But his opposing Lord Krishna only serves to increase the transcendental pleasure of Krishna's pastimes, right? The slight contradiction, there is an example given. Sometime in, if you see sweets, black pepper is used, right? You see some sweets have a black pepper. So if you see a malpua, there are some few black peppers, embedded if you see. And most of the people, they plug it out and throw it away, keep it aside and eat only the juicy sweet part, right? But if one bite a black pepper, right, it's a contradictory taste, right? Sweet is having his own flavor, but if you bite a black pepper, it's tikha, so your people don't like, contradictory taste. But actually if you bite a little black pepper, the next bite of malpua is very sweeter. So therefore, a slight contradiction on the part of Lord Balaram only enhances the pleasure and the mellows of Krishna's pastime. Right? So in this way, Lord Balaram, he's a Seva Vigraha, the personification of service. All his activities are supremely auspicious. Whatever Lord Balaram does, right, is meant to curb the wickedness, the pride and the arrogance, and so that actually a living entity can fully take shelter of Krishna. Right? And Srila Prabhupada is the representative of Lord Balaram, right? Whose teachings, by hearing from him, by reading from him, right, we can progress in our surrender to Krishna and Balaram. Right? So we want to pray at the lotus feet of Lord Balaram, at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada for their blessings upon us, so that we may have complete faith that whatever the Lord does, whatever He instructs us to do, is for our benefit, and it is for auspiciousness of the whole world, right? And in this way we may get the strength, right? Lord Balaram is the giver of spiritual strength. We may get the spiritual strength to serve Krishna from Lord Balaram, to serve the order of our spiritual master, and in this way our life will become successful. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. So we will do Kirtan now. Hare Krishna.